Hi, everybody. I'm re-recording the recording that I originally had since the audio was really terrible. But what you're doing today and tomorrow is attempting to explain when, where, and why groups of people explored, colonized, and settled in the United States, including the search for religious freedom and economic gain. You're going to be asking yourself the essential question, what did the explorers take to and from the New World during the Age of Exploration? By practicing it, you will pretend to be an underwater archaeologist and look for artifacts from a sunken ship. After retrieving those artifacts, you will analyze them, sketch them, sketch what they look like, and try to figure out what their significance was and why the explorers took them to begin with. So what will you do? You will, first of all, this is an example of a ship's object, something that you will be retrieving from the sunken ship. Now, this is not the exact same one that you will be looking for. I just happened to pull up some corn off the internet and decided to use this as an example to show you what to do. But you're going to pretend that you are looking for sunken items on the floor of the sunken ship, and whichever artifact you pull up, you are going to make sure that you pay attention to what part of the grid that the ship is that the object is found in. And I actually have, and I'm going to go to my desktop here. I have actually taken a picture of, let's see if I can find it, taken a picture of what the objects look like. Actually, it's, now that I think about it, I put it in I put it in the Schoology page. I took a picture of what the kids are doing today in class so that you could see how it looks in the classroom. And this is a picture of Mr. Herring's classroom right here, and it turned sideways, which is not what I wanted it to do. But he, on the floor of his classroom, has created the same picture that is that you're going to be recording your sunken ship's objects into, and his kids are doing the exact same thing. And so each of these is a part of that ship. Like, for example, this is grid A1, and if you look at this outline of a sunken ship, it is created in the fashion of a grid, like we did when we did map skills and grid work, and you had to find the location of a city within, using the grid coordinates like A1 or A2 or whatever. Well, you're doing the exact same thing in school, in this sunken ship activity. So kids are pretending to dive, and yes, they do pretend to dive. They dive and swim to the location of a ship. They retrieve the object. They bring it back above water to the science station. Again, of course, they're all pretending. And they bring it back to the science station where they're going to record their findings. And that's what you're going to be doing in your Schoology, in your student reporting sheets for the sunken ship. So let me see if I can. Okay, so you're going to retrieve an object like what I did. You are going to come to your recording sheet, and here is that recording sheet, and you are going to in this box right here, if you pick up the potatoes, which is what is in your the artifact that is listed in your or that's uploaded to your this sunken ship directions, you're going to sketch what those potatoes look like. Doesn't have to be perfect. This is an art class, but just give us some idea of what the object looks like that you retrieved from the sunken ship. And then you are going to, up here by object, you are going to write what that object is. Well, you have retrieved potatoes or corn or whatever. and it would be potatoes. And you would write that beside the word object, and then this part right here, it says this was important to explorers because, and that's where you have to go back to the chapter readings. Real quickly, here are the objects you're going to be retrieving. So we've got all these different ship's objects. There's 4 of them: A1, A2, B1, B2. So you're going to be diving for all of those. And then after you go to your recording sheets and you sketch in the recording sheet what that object looks like, you're going to come to the chapter reading right here for the textbook, and you need to find in the textbook where they make some sort of reference to food or new foods or something. And in that reference, in that short section of the textbook, it's going to tell you why that object was important to explorers. So I'm just kind of scrolling through here, and I see all sorts of things that explorers uncovered under the or archaeologists uncovered on a ship. And there's an astrolabe, and that's what an astrolabe looks like. There's some things, other things that are used for directions, like compass. Also, maps are used. All these things are recovered from the sunken ship that you'll be working on today and tomorrow. Religious beliefs, and so you're going to be and flags. That's what that is. Actually, that's a picture of religious beliefs. And here's a Bible. Wealth in the form of gold and silver that's going to be melted into coins. And then here we get to the section of new foods, and you're going to read in this section about different types of new foods. And it may not specifically say potatoes, although it does right here. Americas include potatoes. It will say in here why those new foods were important. And then you would go back to your sheet, and up here you would say why those potatoes were important to explorers, and record that there. And you would do the same thing for the other 3 objects for today. You would pick up an object for B1. You would sketch what that object looks like here in the ship, because that's the part of the grid that you found it from. You're going to write what you think it is, or what you find out it is once you've look in the chapter reading, and then you're going to read about why it's important, and you're going to just summarize why it's important right here.